What's up, YouTube? I'm Gigi Goddess. Welcome back to my channel. In my last video, I talked about the 7 stages of grief, and I shared a little bit about my experience with losing my father with you guys. And that video seemed to really resonate with you, and I promised you a series. So today I want to talk about failed relationships. I feel that we often carry baggage from relationship to relationship, and we kind of dwell on our traumas because we never really give ourselves the opportunity to properly address the end or the transition point in a relationship. It's okay to be sad. I think we don't want to admit that losing a specific person is really affecting our lives, or it has made us vulnerable in some way. We always want to appear so tough and so put together, and we want it to look so perfect to the world that we don't do the work internally because we're so busy putting up a front. So my first point that I want to make is that there is no such thing as a failed relationship. We don't fail in relationships. I actually hate the word fail. I hate the word failure because it seems so final to a lot of people. It seems to be a period, point blank. And that's just never the case. In relationships, I don't think that we ever fail because, you know, there's always a lesson to be learned and there's always something that we can take from it. What happens is we're often disappointed. We set these super high standards and we have these huge expectations of people that a lot of times they just don't live up to. I know when I was in college, when I first met my best friend, we have always been huge on trying to manifest our reality to be what we want it to be. We've been very specific about our manifestations, and one of the things that we did in our younger years was a soulmate wish list. And I'm smiling because, oh my God, we have had so many. From relationship to relationship, it changes, right? You figure out what you like, what you don't like. You figure out what you're willing to accept, what your hard no's are. And so that is always going to change. As you grow and evolve and become different, you need different things from your partner. And so I say that to say a lot of times our expectations bite us in the butt because we don't go into a relationship loving the person for who they are. We go into the relationship trying to force them into a mold of this person that we've created. And so that is where the failure is. We have to learn to love people for who they are and not what their potential is, because what you see that person's potential is doesn't necessarily mean but that's what that person wants for their life, or that's the type of person that they want to be for themselves. And so that is where the failure comes, when expectation doesn't match reality. And so it's more disappointment than failure. Another thing that I really want to talk about in this video is being able to identify when a relationship is actually over and when the relationship is just transitioning. I think this is huge. I don't think that you can properly grieve a relationship if you're still in the mud with that relationship. Human nature is that we tend to prolong things. We prolong the inevitable. We procrastinate all the time on work assignments and putting out content and things of that nature. And we also procrastinate in our relationships. A lot of times we know a relationship is over weeks, months, years before we actually end that relationship. And so identifying when a relationship is actually over versus when a relationship is transitioning is key to whether you're actually able to start your grieving process. I think that once you can identify that a relationship is over, it's important to let the relationship be over. Stop checking that ex's Instagram page. Stop reaching out. Stop sending good morning texts. Stop sending I'm thinking about you text. Intentionally running into them at places that you know they're going to be. If a relationship is over, let it be over. That's the only way that you're going to be able to move into the grieving process. There are 7 stages, and it's the same as when you lose someone. It's the same as when someone passes on. You know, you go through the shock phase initially, like, I really thought that was the one. I really thought that was going to be the person I was going to spend my life with. And then you move right into the pain and the guilt, and you started thinking about how bad they hurt you and all the things that you did wrong. And then you move right into the anger and the bargaining. That's when you want to get your ex back, and I'm gonna post a little cute thirst trap Instagram post, and you know, I know he saw it, all of that good stuff, ladies, you know, that we do. And then after that, you move into the depression when, they don't like your Instagram posts and they're not responding to your text messages. And when you start to see like, okay, well, none of my advances are working. And so now you're lonely. Now you're thinking about all the good times and your little feelings hurt. And so, right after that, I think that's when you start to be like, okay, well, now I got to get my mojo back. It's time for me to get back in the game, get my juice back. And so this doesn't only apply to romantic relationships, though. And I did want to emphasize that in this relationship video, because relationships are not only romantic. We have friendships that sometimes don't work out. Maybe there was some betrayal of trust, or maybe you guys just grew apart. Like sometimes friendships don't work out the same way the romantic relationships don't work out, and we beef with our family harder than we beef with anybody, right? So relationships are not just romantic, and it's important to recognize when, even in your familial relationships or your platonic relationships, when there is a ending or a transition point, because those relationships are not guaranteed to be forever either. We don't just break up with our boyfriends and our girlfriends. And so when in a transition point, though, this is another part of the video that I'm really excited about talking about, because I think that before you get to your life partner relationship, it's like ending after ending after ending, and it gets old. But when you get into your relationships that are long-term, you've been with this person for years and you have children with this person and you're building a life with this person, there is no end point, especially when you have children with a person and you begin to share financial obligations, because these things last for decades. You raise children with a person for decades. Even once your child is old, you're still going to deal with this person. And so these relationships never end, but they do transition. You may get into a romantic relationship with a person and it's not what you thought it was going to be. You have to accept that, and you have to grieve for what you thought it was going to be, what you once wanted, what you actually came into the relationship for. And then you have to be able to accept and embrace the newness, because there is a beauty to transition. The beauty to transition is that you get to experience something brand new. I'm an Aries. We love newness. The best part of a relationship for the Aries is the first part. We love getting to know you. We love building the connection. We want to figure out what makes you tick. We love the challenge. And it's fun for us. And so the transition point to me in my relationship has been great. It's like I get to learn something new. We get to form a whole new connection. We get to build a whole new bond every time there's a transition. And there will be multiple transitions. I have two brothers that are older than me, and they have children now that are in middle school and high school. One of my brothers has a son that's now in college. And as their children have grown and evolved and gotten older, they have changed as people, because you have to change in every different phase and stage and area of your life. Life is all about progression and evolution, and it doesn't stop. And so that is the beauty of transition. Yes, change is uncomfortable, but change can be amazing when you really take the approach of, I'm going to embrace this newness. And also, I get to make this what I wanted. I get to have the greatest influence on my life and what my reality is, because as the transition happens, I get to influence that change. And so that is a really, really great way to look at it. Be the change you want to see. I think this was a really great discussion on grief as it pertains to relationships, and I'm really glad that I got to share my thoughts with you guys. If this video has resonated with you at all, please like, comment, subscribe, and I will look forward to talking to you guys next time. Peace.